Hey guys, how you doing? Ray here again. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's Nitro Kyosho. Today what I have is a little project I've been working on. Now I bought this, the Phoenix Edge Castle Light 130, and I put it on my Goblin and I mounted it on the side. Well, they said that it's an air-cooled speed control, therefore it doesn't have a heat sink on it. And I wasn't having any issues with it as far as the heat, but I came up with an idea. And I said, you know what, I'm going to make a heat sink for it. So at work, I took a block of aircraft aluminum and I measured out, come in here a little closer, I measured out the metal box, the metal frame that the speed control is in, and I made up a little blueprint and I made this aircraft aluminum heat sink. Put the fins on there and it fit absolutely perfect on there. Okay, I blackened out the rest of the speed control and put some heat shrink tubing to kind of hide everything. And I took some paint from AutoZone, some engine heat paint, and I painted it at work. I gave it a light blasting, and then I painted it a flat black, and then I baked it in the oven at 200 degrees for an hour, so it's good and cured that paint. And then I went to Radio Shack and I bought what's called thermal grease. I have that here. I'll show it to you. It's in a little tube. It comes in. It's made by Arctic Silver. It's a thermal compound that helps transfer heat. And I took it outside after I put it all together and I did a little hover test, you know. And it got warm, nice and warm. I didn't do any 3D or anything, but when I felt it, it was warm. So that tells me that it's drawing the heat off of the speed control into this. And then it also sticks out far enough where it's going to get, I'll show you some different angles here. It's going to get nice air cooling on there. And guys might say, well, Ray, why didn't you just buy a speed control with a heat sink on it? Well, size was the factor, guys, okay, because of where I wanted to put it. I didn't like where it was stuffed underneath there. I like my speed controls on all my helicopters on the side where they can get the 5-mile-an-hour airflow going across them like they recommend in the manuals. And it fits. I like the way it looks on the outside. I think it gives the helicopter that little bit of mechanical look it's kind of missing. And it's blackened out and it looks good, you know. But size really was the main thing. A lot of guys are buying the 120s, which were a lot bigger, and they're mounting them underneath. Well, that's all good until you have a crash and your skids here, that'll break if you drop this thing from a foot off the ground. With the sacrificial struts. They break very easily, guys. Ask me how I know that. If you drop this thing on the table from a foot up, they will break. So you really don't want anything underneath there, guys, okay? And that was the reason why I tucked my satellite receiver under this part. I didn't want it on the boom under here like a lot of guys were putting them. Mainly because if the boom breaks off, it's going to tear your thing apart, all right? So you got to be careful with this helicopter and everything, how you manage and put everything together. But I was pretty proud of myself. The heat sink worked. I made it. I machined it. I blueprinted it. I painted it. And I installed it, and it actually draws the heat. I wasn't having any issues, but you know what? It was around 140 degrees, I think, at some points. But it was a nice little cool project, and it actually works. And it still doesn't make it a big, bulky unit. And being all blacked out, it, you know, blends in. So I figured if I left it the aluminum color, the silver, it would really stand out like a sore thumb, so I painted it. But I'm going to do some tests on it this weekend and check the data log and compare some of the old heat temps to the new heat temps. So I'm excited to do that. And I don't know, I mean, Castle could have easily done this, put something, a little heat sink on the side of it, but I don't know, they chose not to. So anyways, it's more or less they say in the manual it's meant for helicopters or airplanes, but they're really pushing it more for EDF planes. But I haven't had any issues on this helicopter with it as far as heat problems. We had other issues. Well, we'll talk about that in another video. But anyways, guys, you know, use your mind out there. You can always create and make things and re-engineer things, sometimes even better than the companies can do it. So anyways, if you'd like to subscribe, it's Nitro Kyosho, and thanks for watching.